Hey guys! So I have a story, and it's one of those things. Have you ever been embarrassed and it's horrible? You were just really embarrassed, everything's going wrong, but no one's there to see you. Yeah, so that just happened. So because no one actually got to witness me being a fool, I decided to tell the internet, to tell you guys, because what better thing is there than to, fess up to being an embarrassing human being? So, where do I start? Basically, I started a new class. I'm testing it out because I don't have to take it. It's kind of one of those, it's kind of confusing. It's not a class for school, but it is an off-campus class that I'm taking, but it's in one of the campus buildings. So, basically what happened, it is in one of the graduate school buildings, so I am not familiar with it at all, but I do live in that part of town, so it's really close, but I'm not exactly sure where it is. It's like, I want to make something up, let's just say. So I know what street it's on, so I'm like, okay, well, I've got my city shoes on, I know exactly where I'm going, so I walk all the way to that street. And it's numbered, so it's 9th, 8th, 10th, blah, 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 like those kinds. So I walk all the way over there, only to realize that it's actually not that far down, and I passed the building. So I turn my navigation on because I'm like, oh, Apple's map will save me. My little iPhone will take me to where I need to go. And I'm walking, and it's putting me on a wild goose chase. And by the time that I get to the street that I'm supposed to be on, I'm like, wow, I passed by this walking to this other street, and this was the longest way to get there. Most unfortunate. So by the time that I actually get to the building, which is actually 3 minutes away from my dorm room, and I walked 12 away because I thought it was so much farther away, by the time I get to the building, I get in, and it's awkward. Let me, mind you, this is a medical school graduate program building, and I am a freshman art student, so do you think I stand out a little? It's not even like I'm dressed in my Doc Martens, and, I look nice. I'm in, I'm preppy gear. I'm wearing a collared shirt and, equestrian boots, but I'm not in scrubs, so it's okay, this girl, what is she, what is she here for? So I get to the building, I go onto the right floor, and then I'm like, okay, awkward. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be, so I'm just walking around the halls, and then this kind of nervous doctor, who's clearly one of the professors, if that's what you call them at that, in graduate school, he's looking at me what you looking for? And I was like, oh, I'm taking a class here. It's on 424, so I'm looking for this room. And he's like, oh, it should be this way. And so I'm like, okay. And then I saw he pointed this way, but he's actually talking to a different doctor. So I walk back to him. Turns out he's not talking to me, so then I have to walk back, and he's like, isn't it there? And I was like, oh, I don't see it. I was looking at I wasn't looking at the right, let's be honest, I wasn't actually looking at the right numbers. I wasn't looking at the classroom numbers, I was looking at stupid class numbers. So not the building, but the, Univ 120, blah, 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 that type of thing. Oops. So then I get in there, and I see this guy who is not my professor, because I've met him before. And I was like, oh, hi, is there a class that meets here, from, noon to whenever? And he's like, because I was like, this is empty. And my professor was like, yeah, we usually get here about 10 minutes early. So I was like, okay, cool. So I got there early, I thought. I was like, where is everybody? And, this guy's looking at me like, what more? And it turns out that, he was like, yeah, you know, there are people that meet here, but I have a class from 11 to 12. And I was like, oh, okay. I leave the lecture hall, awkwardly as always, and, you know, scuttle over to the elevator. I check my phone. It's 11 o'clock, and my class meets at 12. So actually, I got there an hour early. So, whoops. That's my embarrassing story. Luckily, no one was there to witness it, but I decided to tell you guys. If you have any embarrassing stories, tell me in the comments. And like this video if you can relate to being embarrassed. Thanks, guys. I will see you soon.